In the last video, I showed you interfaces and compared those to abstract classes in F#, and we concluded that interfaces are useful when you have a very strict structure, let's say, and you want to create instances that inherit from that interface that really copy all of the methods of that interface. But the interface cannot define, for example, member variables. That's more appropriate for an abstract class to help you define some members that you can then inherit in other classes. So if you haven't seen the previous video, please check that out. But today I want to take it one step further again, and I want to see how we can leverage interfaces in F# in combination with what's called object expressions. So the purpose of this video is to look at object expressions, and in a nutshell what they do is they give us a way to create anonymous classes, so classes that we don't give a name or define in a more concrete sense, on the fly when we need them in our code. They provide a concise way to create these objects for simple, short-lived purposes, and the idea is then that once you have an interface, you can quickly create a class based on it. So without further ado, let's actually jump into some code. So we're going to define an interface first, and this is going to be a calculator example. So I'm just going to create a type iCalculator like that. And because this is an interface, we don't give it a constructor, but really we just give it the implementation. And we give it an abstract method. So abstract member, let's see if I can spell, there we go. And then we're going to call this method add, like that. The signature of this is going to be int, and then the output is going to be int as well. So we take two integers as input, and then we provide one integer as output for this. And normally, I would then create an instance of a calculator that provides a specific method for this. But if we have small implementations with not very lengthy interfaces and we need to use them on the fly, we can do so. And that's where object expressions come in. So let's say that we want to define a calculator here, and that's going to be an instance of a class, but we haven't actually defined the class itself. But we don't need to. That's the neat part. So if we use these curly braces like this, we can simply say new iCalculator, and here we use the interface name, as you can see, and then we say with, and then we got to specify the method here. So member this dot add, like that, and then this takes x and y as parameters and would give us x plus y in return. So you can see here that we circumvented the entire process of creating a class type, and we jump directly into the usage of this. So we directly create an instance, but we don't have the class to create it from. But we don't need that. We can simply say that it's inheriting the iCalculator interface and then provide the methods that are necessary in order to implement that interface. So we have this implementation, and you can see that already we don't have any issues. So we can test this out and just make sure that it works. So what we're going to say is the sum of, let's say, 3 and 4 is, and then let's do calculator.add, like that, 3, 4, and this should be able to compile. So hopefully we get a value of 7, but you can see that this is very concise. It gives us code that's very easy to read, first of all, because we see already that this is going to be a calculator, and we just say that the add method is this, and it allows us to not duplicate too much code. And we can see also that the output is 7 here. So object expressions are really a way to take the interfaces which are kind of clunky to begin with in F# because you have to sort of cast the classes that inherit them back to the interface to reference some of the methods like we saw before. But when we're working with these object expressions, the interfaces turn into quite a powerful tool. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.